We are joined here in our luxurious auxiliary studios, which Don avoided today.
Yes. I was sorry.
Good thing, Don. GW
Leiter.
Bridge was not good.
No?
No. Not at all.
Sorry, Al.
We got
also, we made a an
I always
executive
call Michael a
decision.
New York snob, but now he's a Connecticut snob, and I'm starting to believe it.
Yeah, very nice.
Good way to start the show, huh, Don?
Yeah, you made it on time, though. That's good.
You know what?
Very close.
It normally takes about 40 minutes, and I have to admit, it took about an hour and 10 minutes, and, yeah, not fun. I'm ruffling through papers here because last night, as we should, talk about the All-Star game, and Michael, goes on about you can't be half pregnant and the whole All-Star game counting. And I started just looking through rosters that, future stars or Hall of Famers that, were showed off in our game. And I refer to, like, the All-Star game once upon a time as our big marketing event. Where in a year in advance, like the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, right.
Super Bowl, in advance, and the tents, and the music, and the concerts, and all the cool stuff. And I think, what is it? It's 18 of the total players are under 25, and I went through the list last night.
A lot of first and second.
A lot of first-time guys, second-time guys, and that's good. I guess we could refer to that as passing the baton or passing the torch. But in the end, if it really is something that I think most fans want to see, their stars in their uniforms, playing this. I know it counts, but an exhibition game. Are we really getting the star of stars? And you look at the roster, and you were complimenting Ned Yost on the telecast last night because he's managing the roster of trying to win.
Right, he has more relievers, right.
Yeah, Darren O'Day, nice pitcher, and, Brad Boxberger, nice pitcher. But, in the day, back in the day, you'd have 7, 8 starters at least, maybe 9, and 2 or 3 closers. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'd throw it out there. Do you like that better?
And also some great moments. Let's say that the game is for real. And it does decide home field advantage. And we take it out of the fans' hands. You would not have seen Derek last year. You would not have seen Cal Ripken Jr. in his final year. You never would have had that moment where Alex made him play shortstop. It's an exhibition game. And they should be showing off their stars. Alex should be there in Cincinnati. That's all there is to it. Clayton Kershaw should be there because he's one of the best. He's one of the big stars in the game. But you're caught in between. What are you? Are you a real game or are you a fake game? It's a fake game.
Well, it's a fake game, but I could say this, and then listening to the people out there that like the idea that it counts because the players are going to play for something. I played for pride. I played for not wanting to lose the game. I played for, and I was in 2 All-Star games. I played to, want to do well. I mean, this is a big stage. Prior to, now, access to every single game on the MLB package, and you can watch it on satellite. And, I guess it's a lesser of a big deal now because of, the prominence of guys being on television. But that was a big deal, Mike. My first time was 1996. I'd been in the big leagues for almost 10 years before I made it. And then 2000 was my second one with the Mets. And, those are big honors. And it didn't count. But you know what? I was mad. Derek Jeter got a base hit up the middle, got an MVP, and the American League won.
But I do think it's important that every team is represented, Al, because when I was a kid, the Mets weren't very good. So the fact that Lee Mazzilli played in Seattle, or getting to see John Stearns or Dave Kingman, I got the biggest kick out of that when I was 12 or 13 years old. I'd stay up late hoping those guys would get into the game because I felt a sense of pride that my team was represented. And when you talk about superstars, there's probably no bigger star in this league than Mike Trout. If he plays at Citi Field, how many more people are going to be at Citi Field than if it's any other team that's playing? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Not to belabor this, but as I was getting here in the parking lot, of course not driving, I pulled up the 2 respective All-Stars. The one that I just mentioned in 2096. But real quick, guys, the rosters for the All-Star games that I was in: Roberto Alomar, Hall of Famer; Cal Ripken Jr., Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Bernie Williams. You go down to the pitchers: Pedro Martinez, Mariano Rivera, David Wells. I'm just prominent names. Jorge Posada, Freddie McGriff, Carlos Delgado. I'm trying to find Derek Jeter, Edgar Martinez, Mike Piazza, McGuire, Jeff Kent, Chipper Jones, Barry Larkin, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, Tommy Glavine, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux. It was kind of a who's who. And if you look, I wonder, and I know that there's going to be a who's who of the names that are going to be in Cincinnati now, but are there as many? And I know that, the All-Star games, there were guys, not just one or two. It wasn't just Derek Jeter in a swan song or Dave Winfield or Paul Molitor, or, a future Hall of Famer that had 7, 8, 9, 10-year All-Stars. There were a lot of guys with 6, 7, 8 years. And, I don't know.
And also, in terms of it not counting but people caring, I mean, we're doing a game tonight. The booth to our left, Ray Fosse's career was destroyed by Pete Rose. That game meant nothing other than pride.
Yeah.
Pete Rose wanted to run through him to score.
It's a great point.
But I also believe with the union and everything, and also players get traded a lot, there's a lot of switching of teams. Everybody's a friend.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to see that.
But in addition to that, that's a good point, Mike. In addition to that, there was a absolute separation, and maybe, Don, you can help me on this because I know you're a Mets fan and I grew up a Mets fan, that it was my league. And even though our representation was bad dude John Stearns, who had 0 home runs at the All-Star break, that's another thing. He makes the All-Star game 2 times, our guy, Don, and he didn't have home runs. And Lee Mazzilli in the tight pants, that was cool. He went the opposite way and hit a home run in Seattle. So, if you have that and the separation without, and I get it, I know interleague is here, but that was the divider. You were an American League fan or you were a National League fan.